Joining me right now is Louisiana Congressman, House Minority Whip Steve Scalise. Congressman, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for being here. Your reaction to what your colleagues are pushing for in the House, defunding ICE now?
It's always good to be with you. And this is a disturbing trend that you see from the radical far left. And these are Pelosi's floor leaders, basically the people that have been controlling the agenda in the House of Representatives and Congress. And this is the group that started off defunding the police. Now, you would think that was such a bad idea. We've seen violent spikes in crime all across America in the cities where they defunded police. You'd think they'd be abandoning that. And no, they're actually just continuing to add on to it. And defunding ICE, defunding Border Patrol is one more step in that direction of defunding law enforcement. It's a crazy radical idea. Unfortunately, Speaker Pelosi has been pushing this in the House, and President Biden has refused to step up and stand up to these radicals. In fact, if you look at what he said, she said that they're terrorists. The people patrolling our border, risking their lives to keep America safe, are terrorists. When is President Biden going to stand up to them and call that kind of crazy language out?
Well, it's really disgusting, and it's hard to understand if this is Joe Biden agreeing with this, or if he's just being manipulated by the extreme left. The same situation on this story, which Politico is reporting, over 40 progressive groups have sent a letter to Congress and the White House urging the U.S. drop any confrontations with China over issues like the crackdown on Hong Kong, forced detention of Uyghur Muslims, and prioritize instead cooperation with China on climate change. I mean, we're looking at video right now of the Uyghurs in handcuffs, locked up in the Xinjiang region of China, and yet we've got the progressive left pushing Biden to roll over for China on this. I know that his policies so far have not had much teeth. What's your expectation for U.S.-China policy?
Yeah, this is just bizarre. But again, it's part of the radical left's push. They won't stand up to any of our adversaries. They want weakness from America. But look at China's record. And of course, Maria, you've pointed it out. They've enslaved people. They persecute people based on their political views. And the far left progressives in Congress want to look the other way towards that. Who are these groups that are saying that President Biden should just turn his back, give everything, the keys to the candy store to China? Look, with the Green New Deal and the Paris Accord, that's already a gift to China because they stop our ability to manufacture in America. They make it very difficult to manufacture things in America, which means those jobs go to China. And China emits more carbon to make the same steel, to make the same products as if you made it in America, because we actually have good standards here. They love beating up on America. Yet when it comes time to stand up against people who actually abuse human rights like China, they tell President Biden to look the other way. And unfortunately, President Biden is listening to them and not standing up to the people, whether it's China, Russia, or Iran, who are abusing rights of all of our allies around the world.
Well, I find this very disturbing and distressing. We know that the CCP wants to acquire America, overtake the United States as the #1 superpower, and we need to see real pushback and leadership on this subject. The other issue to discuss is big tech. I know that you and your colleagues in the House have come up with your own ideas. President Trump is out with an op-ed this weekend in the Wall Street Journal on why he's suing big tech. But now President Biden is signing an executive order to try to get big business, including big tech, down to size. Does that have any teeth?
No, but what it does is it goes back into failed programs like net neutrality, where you have the government trying to take control of the internet. This is about a big power grab by government. It's not about President Biden standing up to big tech. Look, what we rolled out the other day is to try to bring more transparency and accountability to big tech, which is what we need, not just against their censorship of voices across the spectrum, primarily conservatives, but all across the board. But it's also the abuse of personal data. Anybody who uses the internet, which is pretty much everybody in America right now, has really no control over their personal privacy and their personal data. And that's got to get reined in as well. And so those are all things that we're looking at on the Republican side. On the Democrat side, they just want more government control. And go to countries where they did these net neutrality type policies. During the shutdown last year, when everybody was stuck at home using the internet, whether it was for education, for business, for anything they needed to do, to try to research the virus. They were having very slow speeds on the internet. Throttling was happening because governments that actually control the internet were clamping down on the ability for people to use it. We don't want that in America. We're the leader of innovation for a reason, because the government is not involved in it. It's something that we've seen such private success from. Don't get the government to come in and break what's working so well with the internet.
All very similar and way too close to what the CCP is doing in China, Congressman. We'll be watching your efforts to stop all of this. Thanks very much. Good to see you this weekend. Thank you, Congressman.
Always great to be with you, Maria.